We will listen to Rudi, to Mr. Lube at the end of our show. And right now we have your Q&A session. And you are very ambitious. I have a lot of questions. Thank you so much. And still, you can continue to write down your questions. The first question to Hendrik is, how effective is Steinert sorting different kind of grades of plastic like PP, PE, and PET?
And that is a question. I understand that you are interested in having numbers, but that is not realistic. We need to know the in-feed composition. We need to know how the percentages of these materials is, the grain size. That is nothing I can answer right here. So there we have to see exactly what material you have.
Okay. How do you determine the recovery and purity rate of a sorting step?
There are two different possibilities. The first possibility is you do sampling and count it. The second possibility is you use a sorter and you run these materials in loop. So you can say after the first step, you eject something. So that means you have to get a pure fraction, and then you run this in a second go, and then you do the scanning. And with the scanning, you see the percentage of the in-feed from the second go, and that means that you can see the recovery rate or the purity which you reached directly with the machine.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Next question, short question. Can I test the robot?
Yeah, you can test the robot. That you can do not here in Pulheim, but in Zittau we have a lab where we can do trials with the robot too.
Mm-hmm. Can you adjust to new package designs?
Yeah, for sure. So if it comes to artificial intelligence, I also mentioned that this artificial intelligence is a combination, the algorithm is a combination from shape, color, and also the near-infrared signal or different signals which we have in the machine. So if things are changing, we have to readjust it. And then that means we train these new objects if necessary. We train this to the database, and then we copy the new database on all the machines which run in this application. And then the machines adapt to it and can come over these new materials.
I guess it's also a bit regarding the new materials which look like paper, but they aren't paper. I guess maybe it's in this direction a bit.
Yeah, that's something that we can do with near infrared.
Yeah.
You see the differences in these materials, but it depends really. If you look on the example from the ketchup bottle is very good for this, because there you have something like the color which is typical, so you can use it. So it's not as much as a shape. Sometimes you have a very prominent badge on these objects that also can help you. So, but that is what you have to do.
Okay. Next question from Danielle. Can you tell us more about the sorting of multi-layer materials?
Multi-layer materials, for sure. So most popular is the tray. So that means you have PET, you have some barrier inside it, and again PET, different layers. So it depends very much on the composition and on the thickness of each layer. For example, if the first layer is not as thick, we can look through it and we see the first barrier area. And that means that gives also near-infrared signal, and the combination of the barrier and the PET gives us indication it's a multi-layer object. If the first material thickness is too high, we cannot penetrate the object as far as necessary, then we have with near-infrared no chance. Then we have to switch to the artificial intelligence and train these objects.
Mm-hmm. Next question. Can you separate further different type of black waste?
Black waste is something we start in 2014. Even in the movie you have seen very nice black bales in the storage area. So some of our customers are doing it. They have machines that separate black materials from lightweight packaging. From the installations we have here in Germany, we know that roughly 2.2 till 3% of the in-feed in these lightweight packaging sorting facilities is black material. So if you do not have such a technology, this material will end up in the residue. So if you have a black UniSort black in your facility, this machine can eject the dark materials. In addition, we know that in packaging, most of these dark materials are PE, PP. So if now this machine ejects black in combination with the losses from the other machines, which are PE or PP, we even have a higher product stream which this machine generates, which can be prevented from the residue. So there are some things that come over each other. I think also in regards of having higher recycling rates, the UniSort Black can be an opportunity because it lifts up your recycling rate directly with 2 to 3%.
Thank you. Next question. Can you analyze chlorine content, PVC, and calorific? Oh, I cannot.
Value,
calorific value with your machine. Thank you.
Yeah, for sure. We can. PVC is something you detect with a standard near-infrared. That is nothing which is very high sophisticated. Caloric value is something different. So for caloric value, we have in the machines the machine is scanning the material. So we know we have PE, we have paper, we have PET, whatever. And also we can calculate the moisture content. We see this also with the near-infrared system. So all these information the machine is gathering, they can be then combined with some values in behind. So we can have a theory about the caloric value with a scanner. That normally is not done with the standard sorting machines. That is done with a machine called Analyzer. That is more or less similar, but it has no valve bar. That's just only to do the quality control similar to the robot without changing the material, just scanning what is the material stream like.
Thank you. And we have one question. Is the yellow box above the conveyor the detection unit?
That is correct. So we call it bridge. That is a detection unit. And I think something special for STEINERT is that this bridge is the only thing. So we have always this bridge. It has the same shape. It has the same configuration. Inside the bridge are different setups possible. You can have near-infrared, you can have color camera in combination, or artificial intelligence, but you will not see it from the outside. It's always one thing that is installed on the customer side.
Wow, thank you so much. You did it step by step. Each and every question you answered so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you for all your questions. Honestly, I have to say again, there were even more questions, especially also about percentages. The STEINERT marketing will contact you afterwards, and then you will get all your answers.